Hello and welcome to Science for Wednesday of this week. So today for science, you are going to need your science reader and your activities book. So you're going to need both of those for today. Now, first things first, you're going to take some time and you're going to read pages 15 through 17 in your science reader. So you're reading pages 15 through 17. And you can go ahead and pause the video, read those pages 15 through 17, and then we will talk about it. All right, go ahead and pause and read. Okay, so as you have probably guessed, we are doing an experiment today in science. Yay! So today's experiment is going to be to test kind of the idea that if a car is painted black with black paint, does it get warmer inside it than white paint? So to test that out, we're going to do a fun experiment. So now you're going to need your science activities book, and we're actually going to walk through some pages together. So you're going to need to turn to page 9 in your workbook. And so let's go ahead and read that together. So follow along in page 9 of your activities workbook, your science workbook, while I read. So it says keeping cool, inquiry skills, measure, and infer. So those are the skills we're going to be using today. An investigation is a scientific test to solve a problem. That's what we're going to be doing. Each investigation will direct attention to 2 or 3 inquiry skills. The problem that we are trying to solve. An investigation begins with a problem. The problem is a question that needs to be answered. So today's question is, does color affect temperature? Nice. Hypothesis. A hypothesis is a possible answer to the question. So here's where you come in. You're going to need a pencil because we're going to work through this together. So it says complete the hypothesis. The thermometer in black paper will change temperature more or less than the thermometer in white paper. So go ahead and take a minute, circle which one you think is going to happen. Do you think the thermometer in black paper will change temperature more than the thermometer in white paper or less than the thermometer in white paper? And circle what you think. It's your best guess. There's no right or wrong, which is really cool about hypotheses. You can just do what you think. Next is materials. So the materials are the supplies needed to do the investigation. So materials, over here it says half a sheet of black construction paper. Nice. So if you don't have those at home, don't worry. I'm going to show you what we did here at school today. So we have our black construction paper. Then it says half a sheet of white construction paper. We have some construction paper. And then 2 thermometers. So here's our thermometers. Woohoo! Okay, moving along to page 10. So here's the procedure. The procedure is the steps of an investigation. So while I do these steps or talk through these steps, you can check each box as we go. All right, number 1, fold the black paper in half. So I have the black paper, we already did this. And then tape the long edge and one short edge to make a sleeve as shown. So I already taped this, the long edge, and I taped the short edge. You can give that one a check. Number 2, fold and tape the white paper the same way. We already did that. So I folded it in half, I taped it along the long edge and the short edge. So you can give number 2 a check. Number 3, read the temperatures on both thermometers. Okay, so if I look at my thermometers, here they are, and it's kind of hard to see, but both of them are right at about 22 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to kind of show you. They're right at about 20 degrees Celsius. We're paying attention to the Celsius side. All right, so we read our thermometers, so we can give a check to number 3. Number 4 says write them as the beginning temperatures on the observations chart. So in your workbook, you're going to look over at page 11. Page 11 where it says keeping cool observations. There's a table Now, next to beginning temperature, for black paper and white paper, you're going to write 22 because both thermometers are at 22 degrees Celsius. Okay, once you've written 22 as the beginning temperature for black paper and white paper, on page 11, you can look back at page 10 and give yourself a check for number 4. All right, number 5 says place one thermometer in each paper sleeve. So we're going to do that. All right, here we go. I put one in the white sleeve. And then I put one in the black sleeve, just like that. There we go. So now we can give number 5 a check. Number 6 says place the thermometers beside each other in a sunny place outside. So today my class actually did this. We took them outside and we set them in the bright sunlight on the concrete. And it was funny, we wrote a note that says, please leave science experiment from Miss Collier, because otherwise we were worried someone would take it. So we left it out in the sun. So even though you're not doing this at home, you can give yourself a check for that step as well, because you're kind of modeling and watching what we did here at school today. So place the thermometers beside each other. Number 6, you can give yourself a check. Number 7 says wait about an hour. So once again, you don't have to wait an hour because you're kind of using what our class did today as your data, your information. So we waited about an hour, so you can go ahead and check that one. Then we went outside and we read the thermometers. Now, when we read the thermometers, we saw that the one that was inside the black paper had gone up to 44 degrees Celsius. Wow. And the one that was in the white paper had gone up to 40 degrees Celsius. So we can give ourselves number 8 a check. Number 9 says write the ending temperatures for both thermometers in the chart. So back on page 11, you can fill in ending temperature under the black paper. That one was 44. And then ending temperature for the white paper was 40 degrees Celsius. Very cool. Now we're going to check our procedures and see how we did. So we wrote that down. Now number 10 says find the difference between the beginning temperature and the ending temperature for both thermometers. So take a minute and find the difference. That means we're going to subtract the beginning temperature from the ending temperature to see how much it got hotter. So take a minute and see if you can do that subtraction, and then we'll come back together and we'll see if we got our answers. Right, so if you take 22 away from 44, you would see that the difference between those two temperatures is 22 degrees. So where it says differences between temperatures under black paper, you're going to write 22. Same thing, if you took 22 away from 40, then you would get that the difference was 18 degrees. So you can go ahead and fill in 18 degrees under white paper. Very neat. All right, conclusions. Conclusions are the answers to the test. So it says answer the question. So we're going to talk through answering these questions, and then I'm going to leave the last one for you to kind of think about and answer on your own. So number 1 says, did the temperature stay the same? What do you think? Nope, it definitely changed. So did the temperature stay the same? No, it did not. Which thermometer had the greater change in temperature? Which one changed the most? That's right. The one in the black paper sleeve changed the most. Number 3, did the results agree with your hypothesis? This one is up to you. It depends on your hypothesis. So if you thought that the thermometer in the black paper would change more than white paper, then it did agree. If you thought it would be less, it did not agree, and that's okay. Number 4, and this is the question I will leave you to answer on your own. Number 4 says you learned about colors and temperatures from this test, this investigation. What can you infer about a car's color and the temperature inside it on a sunny day? So it's asking you, what can you tell about why maybe the inside temperature is different in different cars based on this experiment? So take some time to think about it and then write your answer next to number 4 on page 11. Then when you're done, you can make sure you've checked off all your boxes on page 10 and you're all set. All right, I hope you enjoyed listening through and working through this investigation today for science. See you next time.